that social revolutionary change for Black America can achieve by exposing Blacks to their cultural heritage. In Kwanzaa philosophy, out of which Kwanzaa and Nguzi Saba were created, environmental justice and social justice are inseparably linked in the moral imperative to achieve and ensure African and human good and the well-being of the world. It is an observance served to reinforce manifesting the principles of Kwanzaa as a way of life on a daily basis by reflecting on the past in order to understand the present and plan for the future. Kwanzaa centers around the 7 principles which particular emphasis on social, political, economic, and cultural needs of Black people. Families celebrating Kwanzaa decorate their households with objects of art, colorful African cloth, such as kente, especially the wearing of kaftans by women, and fresh fruits that represent African idealism. It is customary to include children in Kwanzaa ceremonies and to give respect and gratitude to ancestors. Libations are shared generally with a common chalice, kimkombi cha umoja, passed around to all the celebrants. Joyous Kwanzaa may be used as a greeting during the holiday. And then the symbols.
Good night. I'll be doing the symbols of Kwanzaa. Mazeo, the crops. These are symbols of African harvest celebration and of the rewards of productive and collective labor. Mkika, Kwanzaa mat. This is symbolic of our tradition and history, and therefore the foundation on which we build. Kanara, Kwanzaa candle holder. This is symbolic of our roots, our parents, and continental African. Muhindi is corn. This is symbolic of our children and our future, which they embody. Mishuma Saba is Kwanzaa candles. These are symbolic of the Nguzi Saba, the 7 principles of Kwanzaa, the matrix and minimum set of values which African people are urged to live by in order to rescue and reconstruct their lives in their own image and according to their own needs. Kikombi Sha Umoja, unity cup. This is symbolic of the foundational principle and practice of unity, which makes all else possible. Zawadi, Kwanzaa gifts. These are symbolic of labor and love of parents and the commitments made and kept by the children. We will give gifts of the elders of the group. The meaning of Nia, or Nia, whichever you pronounce. The 5th day of Kwanzaa, celebrated on Monday, December the 30th, recognizes Nia, or purpose, which focuses on building and developing of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. On this day, each family member should examine his or her ability to put his or her skill or talent to use in the service of the family and community at large. Take time to reflect on this day. You should try to determine if this purpose will eventually result in positive achievements for family and community. The Nia principles ask each person to be services or mission-driven on behalf of their family, school, and community. The core concept and practice of the value defines who we are and our possibilities for developing communities that provide the context for families and children to thrive and flourish. Each member of the family, school, or community is asked to examine his or her skills or talents and determine how he or she will put forth those skills or talents in the service of the family, school, or community. Today, let's all find ways to make choices with purpose. Following me will be Desert Deaver, our our Vice President, and our honorary member, Old School.
Good evening. The meanings and symbolism of Kwanzaa candles reflect the African American and Pan-African holiday. There are 7 candles placed in the official candle holder. The Kinara, which supports the Mishuma Saba, which means 7 candles. Each candle represents one of the 7 core principles in Guzo Saba of Kawaida philosophy. Mishuma Saba and 7 candles. Kwanzaa is a celebration of family, community, and culture. There are 3 official Kwanzaa colors: black, red, and green. There are 7 candles, 1 black, 3 red candles, and 3 green candles. Each candle represents one of the 7 principles guiding Kwanzaa. These are placed in the Kinara in a specific order. Each candle is lit on a specific day of the Kwanzaa 7-day celebration. 1 black candle, the principle that the black candle represents is the concept of unity. The day 1, Umoja, that focuses on the unity of family, community, nation, and race. The candle represents the African American and Pan American people. It is placed in the center of the Mishuma Saba, which is the Kinara. This candle is always lit first on the opening day of Kwanzaa. There are 3 red candles, each representing a separate principle. These candles are placed to the left of the black candle in the Mishuma Saba. These 3 principles include day 2, which is self-determination. It represents defining, naming, creating, and speaking for oneself. This is the 2nd candle lit. Day 3 is Ujima, the principle of collective work and responsibility, and takes on the vocation of building the community, developing it as a way to restore African Americans and Pan Americans to their traditional greatness. This is the 5th candle lit. Day 4, this is the principle of cooperative economics. This encompasses building and maintaining individually owned stores, shops, and other businesses. The goal is to profit from these endeavors as a community. This is the 3rd candle lit. There are 3 green candles, each representing a specific principle. These candles are placed to the right of the black candle, and the last one's lit. Day 5, this is the principle of purpose, of looking inside oneself to set not only personal goals, but also goals that benefit our community. This is the 4th candle lit. For the 5th day, the proper order of lighting the Kinara is to light the black candle first, then the 3 red candles moving from left to right. And the green candle beside the black candle, which is the 5th principle, Nia, which is the day that we are celebrating today. Following me will be Ms. Rebecca Ochoa, who will handle the libation statement.
Damshili la Tambiko. It is tradition to pour libation into remembrance of the ancestors on all special occasions. Kwanzaa is such an occasion as it provides us an opportunity to reflect on our African past and American present. Water is suggested as it holds the essence of life and should be placed in a communal cup and poured in the direction of 4 winds: north, south, east, and west. It should then be placed among family members and guests who may either sip from the cup or make a sipping gesture. After each sentence, everyone say, "Ase." Repeat the sentence after me. For the motherland cradle of civilization.
For the motherland cradle of civilization, I say.
for the ancestors and their indomitable spirit,
for the ancestors and their indomitable spirit. Ashe. Ashe.
for the elders from whom we can learn much,
For the elders from whom we can learn much. Ashe.
for our youth who represent the promise for tomorrow,
For the youth who represent promise of tomorrow. Ashe.
for our people, the original people,
For our people, the original people. Ashe.
for our struggle and in remembrance of those who have struggled on our behalf,
For our struggle and in remembrance of those who have struggled on our behalf. Ashe.
for Umoja, the principle of unity which should guide us in all that we do,
For Umoja, the principle of unity which should guide us in all that we do. Ashe.
for the Creator who provides all things great and small,
For the Creator who provides all things great and small. Ashe.
following me is
Baby Red.
Baby Red.
Who's doing the call to unity.
Yes. Call to unity, let's pull together. Practice the Day 1, Umoja, unity. Day 2, Kujichagulia, self-determination. Day 3, Ujima, collective work and responsibility. Day 4, Dima'a, cooperative economic. Day 5, Nia, purpose. We are celebrating this principle today. Day 6, Ulima, creativity. Day 7, Imani, faith. And may the wisdom of the ancestors always walk with us. May the years end meet us black and strong. May our children honor us by following our example of love and strong. And at the end of next year, may we sit again together in larger numbers, greater achievement and closer to liberation and a higher level of human life. Let's pull together. Please stand, everyone, and repeat after me.
Harambe.
Harambe,
Harambe.
Harambe,
Harambe.
Harambe,
Harambe.
Harambe,
Harambe.
Harambe,
Harambe.
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 Following me will be read with closing quote.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for the celebration of the 5th day of Kwanzaa and the Principle of Nia. Kwanzaa is a way to bring the community and family together to reflect on the past year and set new goals for the coming year in hopes of building togetherness and wholeness with the African American community and America as a whole. And so let us all leave today with a pledge to rededicate ourselves to all of the principles of Kwanzaa, and let us continue to believe with all our hearts in our people, our parents, our teachers, our leaders, and the righteousness and victories of our struggle. Again, thank you so very much for sharing your time and joining us for this 5th day celebration of Kwanzaa, Nia, purpose. We'll have the benediction by Dwayne Rock Jones, who is our chaplain.
We can't hear you, Rock.
Again, Lord, we ask that you guide us as we go to depart from this place in the principles of Nia. Grant to the Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God, fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with you all. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
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 that concludes our Kwanzaa program. We want to thank everybody for tuning in, and to our audience, thank you for showing up. A big thanks to Captain Hook from Oakland, who did the invocation. Everybody have a good night and be safe. Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Good night. Thank you.